All right, so tonight we're going to use mini bands. We're going to use 2 different sets of weights, probably erring on the heavier side, just because we're doing some eccentric work, some carries and things like that. But you can kind of listen to your body and do what works best for stability for you. And yeah, not a lot of high intensity, a lot of strength, a lot of long sets of work. So kind of prepare yourself mentally for that. And we're going to warm up, and it's going to be awesome. So go ahead and get to your mat. And we're going to start from the bottom up. So what I want you to do first is just to roll from your toes to your heels. So just rock those guys out. We were gone over the weekend. We hiked down to the Colorado River and back up like twice a day, going to the hot springs over by Kremling, and it was amazing, but my calves are still a little bit tight. So we're going to rock those babies out right here. All right, moving on. We're going to take it into a little squat. So swing your arms back, and again, rock back up. So rock under the heels, squat. Doesn't have to look pretty. We're just getting some mobility here in the lower half of the body. And then sink those heels all the way down and squat nice and deep and reach up nice and tall. Good. The idea here is just to stretch out, mobilize our ankles, knees, and hips, and we'll wake up through our quads and glutes. And keep going. Good. One more time right here. And then we're going to take one foot to the back and just hold it here for a moment and then tap it in. So just a tiny hold, calf stretch, and tap in, and working on that single leg movement. And one more time. And on this next one, I want you to hold that heel down and back, lift both arms up, and take the hands behind the back and hold right here. So just a great calf stretch. And then take it to the other side. So heel to the ground, and then tap it in. Getting that pause every single time your heel goes down. And this last one, hold it right here. Again, sweep those arms up, back, and bring your hands to the back of your body. Hold them for a moment. And we're going to move on right here. So bring both knees together. We're going to circle our knees around. So what this does is it actually mobilizes the bottoms of your feet, your ankles. You can tell that they're rocking side to side a little bit, but our knees are staying together. Go in the opposite direction as well. Again, let those feet move around. Sometimes they get locked into position if you've been sitting a lot or not moving a lot in our day. And bend your knees and stand up nice and tall. We're going to go to our hips next. So just like you have a hula hoop, you're going to rotate those hips around. Knees are staying soft here. Now your feet are a little bit more grounded. You know, it's kind of a funny stretch. You can even lean back a little bit to wake up those hip flexors. And then go in the opposite direction. If you haven't hula hooped in a while, you should. Best workout ever. And again, lean back. Circle around one more time. And moving on. So hinging here at the hips. We're just going to hold here, find a nice hamstring release. And then reach our arms up in front. Keep your right arm out and then press your left arm back, keeping that nice flat back, and then swing the arms and switch. So all the while here, hips are nice and neutral, tailbone slightly elevated. And let's do one more on each side. Good, now both hands are gonna come up with your thumbs up and then open out to the side and then close it back up. Again, open out to the side, squeeze through your upper back. Thumbs are up. All the while, you're bracing your core. That means you're squeezing your abdominals to your back. And let's try 2 more right here. And last one. And then roll yourself all the way up. All right, let's do some knee circles. So taking your right knee, circling it open, all the while keeping your belly button and hips pointing forward. So we're not doing any of this kind of action here, but just keep it nice and steady. And go in the opposite direction. So up and over. Good. Again, working on balance all the time. And switch sides. So knee fans open. A little popping and grinding in that hip joint. And one more time. Let's switch directions here. So out and in. Just close it all back up. Perfect. And one more time. Great job. We're going to take a big step to the right. So come to the side of your mat, big step up and over, and then squat and slide. And go to the other side. So big step up and then go under. So it's like you're going over a fence And then sliding under. So that slide is important. Okay, it moves your body laterally and allows your stabilizers to start working. Up and over, get under. And get under that fence however you need to. And let's do one more in each direction. Last one right here. And done. Take your feet wide, turn your toes out. We're gonna squat down nice and deep, press our elbows to the inner thighs. Great job. And then we're gonna reach up to the side and bring it right back down. Elbows to the inner thighs. Rotate to the opposite side. Continue on. And last one right here. And release. All right, last thing you're gonna do is just reach over your head. So side bends, reaching over the head, actively pulling your elbow down to your body. And one more on each side. And take your hands, just lightly let them rest behind your ears and close it all up. And then open up, lift your chest to the sky. And again. And you've got one more time. And open it all back up and shake it out. All right, we are done with the first part of the warm-up. We're gonna go into some stability drills here. The first one, we're gonna focus on landing. So we're gonna be sticking with these landings. These are really basic moves. We can progress into elevated landings, but right now, we're just gonna do back stepping lunges. So here's the idea. I want you to be able to stick the landing by stabilizing them with your hip, quad, hamstring, knee, and ankle. So all you're gonna do is step back with your right leg, make sure there's nothing behind you. Then float that back leg off the ground, and then drop it down quick and hold. Okay, bring the leg forward, do it again. You're gonna lift it up and back, and drop it down quick, hold. So the idea here is that we're gonna stick the landing, stabilize in the bottom, and then press off nice and quick. So hold it, and one more time. Great job, and switch to the other side. Find your balance, take that foot off the ground, and drop it back behind, hold, and tap it in. Good, so a little bit of force on the way down. Stabilize, hold, press off your front leg, two more. Pretty basic, but we are gonna take these at some different angles here in just a moment. And right back to center. Now, you're gonna take it to the right side. So when we do a side lunge, our butt goes back, our knee tracks with our toes. So you're gonna pick up your right foot, hold it here, and then drop it to the side, stay, and then bring it back in, same side. So pick up your leg and drop it down. Knee tracks with the toes. And let's keep going. Drop it down, hold. And you'll notice that when you go to the side here, you have a nice angle from your head to your tailbone. Your chest is not lifted right here because you can't move. All right, let's do one more. And we will switch to the other side. So let's take it to the left side. Pick up your foot and drop it down, hold. It's a really great time to check in with your knee. Look at your form. So your knee tracks forward, your butt goes back. Great job. So that force coming up off of the ground from the bent leg is just as important as when it goes down. And you've got one more time right here. Lift it up, drop it down. All right, this one gets a little trickier. So you're gonna take your right leg, you're gonna step back at a diagonal. Looks like this. Pick up your leg, drop it back at a diagonal. Your knee still tracks with your toe, but now your other toes are angled out. And then you're gonna press off and bring it back in. Okay, so working that rotation, step out, hold, and then bring it back in. Good job. And push off. Let's do two more right there. Float and drop. And one more time. And bring it back in. Let's take it to the other side, diagonal. So face forward, pick up your leg and rotate. Land to the back, hold, and back in. Why are these important? Because guess what? We don't always move in perfect movement patterns in our life. Sometimes we have to stabilize, okay, when we are in out of control movements that we don't expect. You have to jump quick or move quick or get out of the way or all kinds of things. And generally that's when we get injured. So if we practice these stabilizations, we have a higher chance keeping our body safe. One more time, bring it down, and good. So lift those knees up, just gonna march in place, kick your heels to the back of your quads, just a little bit of a release here. We're gonna move on. This one's a single leg movement. So what I want you to do is take one of your dumbbells, put it down on the ground, okay? You're gonna be reaching for that dumbbell. So put it in front of the right side of your body, okay? And then you're gonna stand on your right leg. And here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna hinge at the hips, and you're gonna reach down toward that weight, and then come back up. So if you can, I love it if your leg was straight, okay? This is a hard one for me, because you're reaching across your body, and your leg is straight, and you're going across the point of balance right here, right? So a lot of times we just stop at that plane where we're halfway down, but guess what? In life, that doesn't always happen, so we're gonna train for life. And this is slow and steady. You're gonna feel your knee and ankle wobbling a little bit. Please make sure that your knee is bending. One more time. And come on back up. And just roll that weight over to the other side. So now it's in front of your left foot. Right foot's back behind. Soften the left knee. Reach across. Touch the weight and come back up. The idea here is that we're going slow on the way down, a little bit quicker on the way up. And if touching the weight throws you off balance every single time, then you don't have to do that depth of movement. Great, let's do two more right here. Cross body and back up. One more time, please. Knees and ankles and hips working hard. And rise. All right, good. Kick those heels to the back for just a moment. And we are moving on to our hands and knees. So move your weight out of the way. This one's a little tricky, guys. Okay? Your hips, your stabilizers are gonna work hard here. All right, so we're gonna be in a quadruped position. So tabletop position. You're gonna bring one leg, or I'm sorry, you're gonna lift up, float your hands off the ground, and then leaving the hands off there, and lift one leg up in front and hold, okay? Doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but now you're gonna go in reverse without using your hands. You're gonna pick that leg up, and then come back down, and hands are the last thing to touch. Okay, let's do the same leg. Hands come off the ground. I want you to float on one leg, lift the other one out in front, and set it down. You probably notice your core is working here, along with your hips, and then bring it back down. Let's do two more. Hands come off first, float, and balance, balance, balance. Great job, and bring it back down. One more time here. I know it's kind of a weird move. Hands off the ground. All the work's happening in that stabilizing leg. And bring it back down and get ready for the other side. So knees hip distance, core nice and tight, lift the hands. Now go to the other side. You might notice one side easier than the other, like always. And hands are the last thing to come down. Good, you've got four more. Try to keep your shoulders stacked over your hips at the top of your movement. See, that was a little too fast. Hands off. There we go. And slow and steady back down. Wobble, wobble. It's okay. And let's do one more time here. Hands off. And kneeling. We're going right back down to the quadruped position. So slowly bring it down and release. Good job. We're going to bring it onto our back and hands by your side. Okay. Knees pointed up. We're going to lift our hips nice and high with both feet on the ground. From here, I'm going to have you take one leg, walk it out so your heel is digging to the ground, your knee is slightly bent, and your other leg is going to come out as well. And then walk back in, and lower yourself down. Let's do it again. Hips come up high. We're going to walk out. We're stabilizing our hips. We're using our hamstrings and our glutes. And lower down. Let's do three more. Bring it up. Walk out. Slow and steady. Just imagine you had your feet on a ball instead of on the ground. Okay? Working with that instability here. And last one. Exhale, lift. Walk your feet out. And lower the hips all the way down. And let's take a quick release here for the hamstrings. And then we're going to roll ourselves over into a plank position. So roll over onto your hands and knees. We're going to begin in a plank, a very stable position here. Rock your body forward so your shoulders are over your wrists. Cedar hip distance, soften your knees. And now walk your hands slowly back, okay, to your feet. And roll yourself up. Big inhale at the top. We're going to come right back down. So walking the hands out. We're going to hold that plank. Make sure our chest is right between our hands. Hold. And then walk it back up. Shoulder stabilization. And inhale up. On this next one, we're going to stay down in our plank position. So hold here. Now, two options. You can stay on your toes. You can also drop to your knees. And I like to actually do this one from the elbows. If you bring your elbows down to the mat, we're going to retract and protract our shoulder blades. So when we retract, we allow our shoulder blades to scoop together. And then in a protraction, we push up. The movement's only happening between the shoulder blades, not your low back. We're creating some stability here in the upper part of our back. And lift up. Good, let's do two more here. And one more time. Sweat is dripping already. And hold right there and stay. Good job. We're gonna flip over. You want one of your lighter weights for this next move. We're gonna do some shoulder stability, some shoulder packing is what this is called. And what this is really, I want you to think about is your shoulder, your feet, your arm just sinking right into that shoulder joint, okay? So just packing in, locking in. So if you think about your upper arm locking into your shoulder joint and just staying there. That's what we're going for with this movement. So you're gonna take your body, lay down flat on your back. You're gonna take your right arm up and your right knee bent. Your left is straight, okay? So kind of like what we would do for a Turkish get-up. Now I want you to lift your shoulder off the ground with the weight right there. And then I want you to pack it down to the ground, okay? Locking the bone into the shoulder joint. And we're gonna lift up again and then pull it all in nice and tight. So we're not necessarily pressing our shoulder to the mat. We're thinking about pulling in and down, keeping our elbows straight. Let's do one more and pull it in, hold. Now keeping this packed position, we're gonna rotate our arm in that shoulder joint. So just find as much rotation as you can here without rotating the wrist. Try to rotate from the shoulder joint itself. So you might have to squeeze your weight a little bit to help activate the muscles around the shoulder joint. And one more time in each direction. And release. Good. Bring that weight down, switch legs, take your other arm up. And again, lift your shoulder off the ground and then pack it into the joint. And lift. And pack it in. So you can even imagine that you're like have a string attached to your arm and it's pulling up and you are actively pulling in and down. Let's do two more. Lift. Good. One more time. Lift up nice and tall and pack it in. Hold that position. And again, we're not compressed against the ground. We're just locked into the shoulder joint. Now begin the rotation coming from the shoulder, not the wrist. And each side may have a little more flexibility than the other in range, and that's okay. It's a great way to work with rotator cuff injuries or prevention for rotator cuff injuries. It's really starting to feel the shoulder joint do its job of stabilizing. And one more in each direction. And you are done. So put that weight down, roll yourself up. All right, I know nothing too crazy here, but it's just a great way to get the body immobilized, ready to go. We're gonna move into our first set of work. We've got 1 minute for each exercise. The first thing you're gonna need is your mini band, and we're gonna use this mini band around our legs. So you might wanna go a little heavier. I'm gonna use my black. We're gonna be doing some monster walks, and that means we're taking big wide steps, okay, activating our quads, our glutes, our hips. So band goes either above the knees, or if you want to, you could go a little bit below the knees. That would be fine too. Okay, whatever you need to do that makes you feel stable in this position. So 1 minute on the clock. We're going to be walking forward and back. Let me get my timer set up here. And you're going to start to feel that burn in the legs. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. You're going to walk forward. Big, wide steps, keeping your body in a squatting position, and then just travel backwards. Okay, use whatever space you have. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do need to be pressing out against your band as you're doing these walks. Okay, and maybe you want to do a little bit more of a sweep, 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 kind of like that over-under that we did. A similar kind of movement, but now just adding the resistance. And if being in the squat for this long is uncomfortable, stand up at the end of every movement, and then just get right back into it again. There are 15 seconds left, so take what you need. Chest is lifted. Good job. And 10 seconds left. Oh, I'm starting to feel that black. Feels good. And time is up. All right, so we're gonna keep our band on our legs. If it's down below your knees, just go ahead and bring it up so it is above the knees, and we're gonna do some hip thrusts in this position. So knees are wider than hips. You want to be able to feel the tension on the band. If you don't have a band, no problem. Your toes are slightly tucked, and we're going to reach our hands out in front, and we're going to thrust our hips forward, squeezing through our hamstrings, glutes, and again, pushing against that band. So let's go ahead and begin right here. So reach the hands forward, and then thrust. And hips back, and thrust. So you got the toes tucked here to start with. That feels okay. You want a little more, you can release your toes. Okay. And you should be feeling this in your hips. You should be feeling this in your hamstrings. And we're just getting extension through our hip flexors, which we all need more of. We sit, we need to be doing this move. I'm going to give you a challenge here if you want it, and that is to grab a weight if you would like to, and as your hips go back, your weight goes out, and you pull it in. So reach and pull. Now think about your legs. If they tend to kind of sneak in towards one another, keep them wide. Keep your toes wide as well, in line with your knees. Good job. Almost there. And one more time. And done. All right. Standing up. You are going to take your band off for these next 2 exercises, and you're going to need your heavier weight. You're going to do an overhead carry with one arm. So again, think about that packing we did with the shoulder. Do a bicep curl, get your arm up. Instead of reaching, I want you to pack it in so you feel squeeze between your shoulder blades, softness in your elbow, and you are going to go for a walk. Here we go. Halfway through, you get to switch to the other arm. So pack it in. Now here's the deal. If you don't have a lot of space, what I would like you to do is do high knee walking, because that's going to challenge your back. You're going to challenge your core, your shoulder. Okay, you're going to feel the difference besides other than just taking little baby steps around. So big high knees. Okay, good. Pack that shoulder in nice and tight, and begin to switch the arm right now. Bring it down. Bicep curl. Lift it up. Lock it down. You want to go heavy here. So if you have a little tiny weight, you might not feel this. So engage with a bigger weight. Cool thing is you're not bending at the joint, you're just stabilizing. So it's easier to stabilize a heavier weight. Great job. You're going to feel that core working tight, especially if it's a heavy one. Come on, 5 seconds left. And 3, 2, and 1. Set the weight down. All right, moving on. Your plank is next. So 2 options, hands on the ground, knees on the ground, or toes on the ground. From here, okay, either position, you're going to keep your hips pointing toward the ground. You're going to reach one arm nice and slow, and then set it down. Begin now. Reach nice and slow. I want you to slowly transfer the weight to the other side. And notice what your body is doing here in this position. A lot of times what we do is we tend to rock and we open, but we want our hips pointed toward the mat. And if you want to try it up on your toes a couple times, it is a lot more challenging, but you can do it. Great job, great job. You're gonna feel that opposite foot want to kind of float off the ground. And that's where you engage your legs, your core, even your butt to really help that. We have 15 seconds left. I know it's a long set of work. You've got it. Nice job. And let's try one more time right here. And time is up. Great. Sit back, and we're going to try that all again. So you're going to put your mini band back on. This is a great time if you worked a little bit light, and maybe you could go heavier to do it now. Like I said, tonight's workout, it's not so much about the high intensity. It's more about the strength and stability, okay? So it's not about how sore you can get or anything like that. All right, let's go ahead and begin in 5 seconds. Back with those monster walks again. Take them nice and wide, butt down. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Big walks. Want your knees to be pressing open. Now here's a little tip. If you don't have a very heavy band, and you just don't have any heavy band, if you bring the band lower but below the knees, you'll get more resistance out of your band. Okay, so keep that in mind if you need that. Good job, big steps, big steps. Now I want you to bring your feet together. Step wide, wide, in, wide, wide, in. Same thing on the reverse. Just a little change up. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Good, keep it coming. Always changing up your movement patterns. Woo! That burns just a little more, doesn't it? Come on, keep going. And time is up. Great job. All right, you're gonna leave that band on, going back down to the ground. Okay, for that hip hinge again. So, knees and ankles in line with one another. Use the weight if you would like to. And we're gonna hinge our hips back as the weight goes forward. And then engage your hips and drive forward. Good, inhale to go back, exhale to come up. Great work, great work. Remember, it's about the extension in the hip flexor. Try to lengthen those muscles. And maybe you need to press down with your weight instead of out, that's okay. Almost there, you got 20 seconds to go. Give your glutes a little bit bigger squeeze as you rise. Nice job, nice job. Come on, let's get 3 more big ones in right here. Nice and slow. Exhale up. Great job, last one. And finish it up. And set that down and come to your feet. Take off your band quickly. You have about 15 seconds to change gears, grab a heavy weight. And you are going to bring that weight up. Remember, pack the shoulder in, tuck your chin in, and these are high knee walks. High knee walks. Okay, stepping over all of the obstacles that might be in your way. Arm is mostly straight, with a softness in the elbow. And again, you can walk sideways, you can walk forward and back. Great job. We are going to take this to the other side in just a moment. 3, 2, 1, and bring it down nice and slow. Bicep curl the weight up, pack it in. Again, go heavy, and lift up your knees. Again, walking, walking, walking with those knees as high as you can. Only 10 seconds left. This doesn't even look that hard, I know, but with a heavy weight, with a stabilization, you are feeling this. Great job. 3, and 2, and 1, and set your weight down. Okay, back to the plank. Hands under shoulders. Start on your knees, move to the full plank. Halfway through, get ready. Again, if you're on your knees, hip distance apart, hips and belly button to the mat, and reach opposite arm, one arm, and gently set it down. Notice what happens when you go slow. Like 3 counts up, And one count back down. It's very challenging. And then if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, bring it to your toes. Think about that protraction, retraction that we did with the shoulder blades. Okay, you want to stay right in the middle of those two positions with the upper back as you're planking. It's going to bring you stability there. Good job. We have 15 seconds to go. You can do it. But anytime it gets to be too much, you just hold the plank. And one more time. And done. Good, sit back. Okay, so done with round one. We have 2 more rounds to go. Different exercises coming your way, but all in the same family. So we're gonna go back to our band. This time we have lateral walking with the band. So put it back on, below or above your knees, your choice. And lateral walking. So again, feet start hip distance apart. You're gonna step to the side, step together without bringing your feet together. Ready, set, and go. Big steps, big steps. Good, that was your timer to start. You got a couple extra seconds in there. Always keeping tension on the band at all times, okay? Now maybe you wanna walk to the corners. If you're on your mat, walk to the corners, and then walk across the front. It's okay to go at some angles here. Just feeling the abduction in the hips. Nice job. Use whatever space you have. But keep the hips nice and low. I'm just trying to maneuver all around the mat and the weights here. So you guys keep going. You got 15 seconds. Can you take this a little deeper? Just like when we did that slide and the over and under the fence, that same movement. I want you to feel that. 3 seconds. Nice job, and done. Whew. All right, keep the band on. We're gonna come back to the bridge position that we did in the warm-up. Okay, feet are hip distance. You're gonna lift your hips up, walk your legs out with that band, and then lower the hips back down. Here we go. Hips up high, keep your your knees wide, walk out, out, in, and release. Now here's something to think about. If your hips become really unstable with the legs going all the way out, away from the body, then just do an inch or so that you can stay safe. Not looking for the legs straight, just enough to put some instability in the hips so they have to work hard. Great, bring the hips down every single time. You've got 20 seconds. I know these are long sets. You can do it. Let's do 3 more. Come on, reach. Feel your hamstrings working hard. Most unused part of our body is the back of our body. And last one right here. Block it out and bring it in and release. Good job. You're going to take your band off. So slide it off real quick while you're down here and then come back to a standing position. All right, so this time our single arm hold or carry is going to be done with a bent arm. So you may need lighter weight for this one. Just listen to your body. You're going to take your weight. You're going to bicep curl it up, but I want you to hold it right here like this, okay? So just holding it in the palm of your hand, wrist nice and straight. And again, you'll do those high knee walks, and you're going to feel the back of the shoulder start to have to consume some of that stability. So 3, 2, 1, and go. Elbows stay hip height, shoulder height. And again, squeeze your shoulder blades together. And if you have stairs, if you have a lot of room to travel, go ahead and try some different levels for your feet. Nice work. You've got 5 seconds left on this side. And then we're going to give it a big change to the other side. So go ahead and do that now. Bring it down, switch arms. Again, elbow in line with shoulder or slightly underneath. And think about your shoulders. Is one higher than the other? Level it all out. As Your elbows starting to droop because you're getting tired. Start squeezing your bicep. Start engaging the rest of that upper body. Almost there, almost there. 3, 2, 1, and done. You can set that weight to the ground. We're gonna use our lighter set of weights for our plank rows, which is coming next. Again, this can be done on your knees or on your toes. I'll show you the knee option first. Again, the goal still is to keep the hip bones pointing to the mat. We're not rowing and opening our body up, okay? So it looks like this. You're gonna hold this plank position, knees, hips tucked, pull one arm up slow, and slowly set it down and then switch to the other side. Okay, ready, set, and begin. You're here for 1 minute. So if you want to modify this, you're going to modify by using no weight and still challenging your body to lift one arm off the ground without rotating. Great job. So this is a really great core stabilization technique. We want to be able to rotate, but we also want to be able to brace and not rotate when we need to. So we're at the halfway point. If you want to come to your toes and try a couple on your toes, please do it. Even if it's just one on each side. Going slow and steady. Nice work, nice work. Come on. You've got 10 seconds left. We're going to try to get 2 more on each side. So stay with it. And last one right here. And your time is up. Woo! That was hard. Sit back and stretch. Guess what? We got to do it all again. So put your band back on. Make sure your weights are out of your way. And band back around the legs. We'll go back into those lateral movements here right now. So big side steps. Whew. And we are cruising through our time right now, guys. Can you believe it? We've only got 20 minutes left. Nice job. So think about your knees. Do they start to kind of knock in a little bit? Can you press them open? I find that when I have the band below my knees like this, it really causes me to work harder. Okay, I have to really open my knees more than when it's around my quads. So up to you. Good, again, try those longer distances, moving at an angle every once in a while. Thinking a little bit lower, and even adding a slight glide. You've got 5 seconds to go, don't stop. I know it's hard. And time is up. Band stays on, we just go right to the ground. So we're going back to those hip bridges with the walkouts. Again, knees hip distance or even wider. If you didn't feel anything the first time, then I want you to go touch wider. Ready? Lift your hips up, walk your heels out, and lower down. Now always remember, your band is going to want to snap your legs together, so you have to keep pressing open. Think about your upper back. Are you pressed against the mat? You can do this. You're at the halfway point right now. If it's easy, take your legs further away from your midsection. If it's hard, scale back. Tailor to fit your needs. Good job, good job. Almost there. Can you give me 15 seconds more? That means we can get like 2 more of these in before we move on. And let's release our hips all the way down to the mat. Time is up. Take your band off and you're gonna grab that weight again. Now make an assessment. Was that easy? If it was too easy with the bent arm and the lighter weight, go for the big one. Okay, you're only doing this 30 seconds on each side. So level up, elbow up high. And again, these are big knee highs, big knee steps, not little shuffling feet. Think about what the rest of your body is doing. Engage your core. Good job. Chin is in, Okay, we're not looking at the ground, we're looking straight out in front of us. We're gonna make that switch to the other side, so lower the leg down, or the weight down and pick it back up. Again, don't be afraid to move laterally. Okay, even cross your legs every once in a while. Not to walk in a straight line. Good. Readjust, level out the shoulders. Just imagine you have a book on your head. You're not drooping one way or the other. And time is up. Set that weight down. All right. I think the most challenging one in this whole set is the plank with the row. So get your weights ready, or if not, you're ready to squeeze your upper back. And we're going to tuck our hips, knees or toes, your choice. And we slowly, slowly pull. And slowly release. Good. Take a check into your wrists. Are they bending, okay, on these weights? Are you allowing your wrists to rock in, or are you keeping your knuckles pointed to the mat? One nice straight wrist. Great work. Come on, keep it going. Feel your abdominals engaged and working so hard to prevent rotation. Okay, you've crossed over into that halfway point. In fact, you've only got 20 seconds left. So let's continue on from our toes for a couple. Come on. You can do this. You've got 10 seconds left. Come on, one more on each side. And last one here. You got it, you got it. And done, good. Drop to your knees, towel off, final round. This is our third set of strength training with this stability. We're gonna use our band again. And this time we're gonna have a little more agility training with our band on our legs. So, again, below or above, your choice. So here's what's gonna happen. Make sure you're in a safe spot. You're gonna take your one leg across and out and behind and out. So it's that karaoke. You've done it before. Maybe you've never done, but you've definitely seen it done before. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can just grapevine. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin right here. Again, I want you to really step wide, challenge your body. Let the hips swivel a little bit. Good, keep going. Oops. And you're gonna find your knees are going to want to rotate in. So you've got to push them open and take this slow. You find that you always have the same leg crossing behind, okay, change it up. Nice work, nice work. You have got 20 seconds left here. Let those hips move, swivel around. This is also a little bit of training for the core. And one more time, down in whichever direction you are going. And time is up. Woo. All right, leave that band on just where it is. Go back down to the mat. And we're gonna go into a single leg bridge. 30 seconds on one side, 30 on the other. I'm gonna move my band up to my quads, and I'm gonna lift my hips up right here to start with. Now, first option is just lifting the leg off the ground, okay? And you're gonna draw the knee up toward your body, okay? The next option is to go to a straight leg, okay? And we're gonna go down and up right here. So your choice, if you just wanna stabilize and do a little knee pull, you can, or you also could do the full down and up. So your choice. All right, feet hip distance. Again, first option right here, stabilizing and just pulling on that band, or you're going down and up. You're trying to keep your legs hip distance apart, even though that band wants to pull you in. So keep moving, dig your heel in. Great job, you got 5 seconds right here. And we're gonna make a quick switch to the other side. So lower your leg down. Again, first option, stabilize and pull the knee, or lift up and take it down and up right here. Your legs are getting too close and you're not feeling your hips working, then take the top leg a little wider. This should be challenging. Flex your foot, press your heel to the sky. You've got 10 seconds left. Come on. Hips, hamstrings, core, butt, everything working together. And one more, and done. Oh man, that hurts. All right, take off your band, please. This time, suitcase carry. So now the weight is gonna be hanging down below your shoulder instead of above it. Go with your heaviest weight that you have, all right? If you need to double up your weights, I want you to do that. You're gonna rotate your shoulders back and around without leaning to one side. You're working your opposite side of your body to keep your body upright. So again, knees up. Why? Because we're on one foot longer than the other. It means we're required to balance and stabilize. Great job. Only one weight. Okay, or one side of the body, I should say. And again, move to the corners of your mat and then walk back at that diagonal. And then switch, go to the other corner. All right, same thing on the other side. Just switch the weight quickly to the other side and continue to travel, looking straight ahead. Can you pinch your shoulder blades together a little bit tighter? Whew. Good job, good job. You have 10 seconds left right here. You can do this. You're also working on grip strength. You're also working on forearm strength. And 3, 2, and 1, and done. All right, so we moved from plank reaches to plank rows, and now we're gonna be in a quadruped lifted position with a reach. So here's what it looks like. I want you to take your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and toes are tucked. We're gonna engage our core, so we're gonna squeeze it up toward our back, keep our back flat. We're gonna lift up, okay? This is your quadruped position. You're gonna reach your arm forward. You're gonna set it down. Other arm comes forward. And then everything comes back down to the ground. And then we'll lift back up again. So you do get a little break in there. It's really important that we're not letting our knees and our hips shift side to side. We're stabilizing. Here we go. So hands under shoulders, engage, lift. Okay, look out in front of you. Exhale, reach. Inhale down, switch to the other side. Exhale, reach. Inhale down and lower everything down. Now, a good way to remember is that think about you have a beach ball between your legs, okay? And you don't want to lose the beach ball by letting one knee go out to the side. So keep tension. And if you don't want to lift the arm all the way, just pick it up off the ground even, and that'll create, okay, the need for your abdominals to stabilize. It is hard. It's supposed to be hard. You're going to even start feeling this in your quads. Woo. And let's try one more time on each side. Come on up and reach and done. Woo. Sit back and stretch. All right, good news. We're gonna do it one more time. And then we're gonna move into a really short, quick ladder, and we're gonna be done with the workout tonight. So come back, grab your band, put it around the hardest part of your body, and go into that karaoke again. All right. So a little more swivel in the hips, a little bit more turnout in the hips. And here we go. 3, 2, 1, and cross, step, and tap together. Open, cross, and tap it out. Good job. Remember, make sure the same leg is not always going over. Nice work. And if you want to work harder, bend your knees, cross those legs a little bit more, and let your arms move side to side. Woo! Feels good. Making sure to pick up your feet. We're not shuffling here. You're gonna feel this one tomorrow. You're not gonna be sure why. Know what's going on, why you're a little bit tight in those hips, but I have a feeling this is gonna do it. And one more time. 5 seconds to go. And time. Keep the band on. We go down to the ground. Remember, if it's around your lower legs, bring it around the upper part. Again, this is that bridge with the leg extended. So feet hip distance, and lift your hips up. Lift your right knee off the ground, either pull or down and up. Come on, stretch out your band. Keep the same distance the entire 30 seconds on this side. You can do it. Hips are nice and level. If they start to drop, level them out. Almost there. Let's do 3 more pulses, and then we're going to switch to the other side and set the foot down. Remember, option to pull or extend and pulse. You've got this. You're going to finish up. There's only 10 seconds right now. Come on, 10 and 9. Here's 4, 3. Come on, work those hamstrings. And 1 more time. And done. Whew. Band comes off. All right, we're back up to our suitcase carry. So 1 heavy weight, or if you have to do multiple weights to make it heavy on one side, do it. Shoulders back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and lift. I'm going to challenge you guys to go sideways in your suitcase carry. So holding the weight to the side and walk sideways here. Whew. Good. You can even do a little karaoke here with your legs since you're all warmed up in that. We often just get stuck in our sagittal plane, working forward and back. We need to work all planes. So switch arms, re-engage the shoulder blades together. Good job. Tuck that chin in. If you're sticking it out, you've lost your good posture. So tuck your chin in. Now, lateral stepping, side to side. Strong shoulders, strong back, strong core. That's what we're going for. And time. Set your weight down. Final move in this set, quadruped with the reach. Again, I know it's hard, but 1 minute, we can do that. So all fours, tuck your toes, look out in front, squeeze your abdominals, lift. And now without rocking the hips, reach. 1 arm at a time, super slow. Come on. And lower the knees down. Let's go again. Lift, reach. And lower down. Come on. Slow and steady. This is going to be our last move of the night because we're going to run out of time. So sorry you missed the ladder, but we'll get to it on Wednesday. And slow down. Good job. 20 seconds to go. I don't know about you, but my quads are starting to burn a little bit. Can you keep equal pressure on your feet as you lift an arm off the ground? Try it. 10 seconds. Let's get 1 more reach on each side. Come on, go for it. Don't quit. And knees to the ground and sit back and stretch it out. Whew. You guys, we made it. That is the end. It's 6:25. We've got to stretch our bodies out. So come up onto your knees. I want you to thrust your hips forward and lean back a little bit. Feel that lengthening down the front of the legs. Whew. Different kind of workout tonight. Hopefully it was just what you needed. And take a leg out in front and allow those hips, the weight of the hips to just sink down and stretch. Every once in a while we need to allow our body to go slow, steady, but know that we can still get a great workout. So tuck your back toes, rock your hips back, but lift your chest. Maybe you need a hand on your thigh. And release. Go ahead and switch to the other side. Lunge forward. And hang out right here. Go ahead and tuck your back toes. And again, flexing the front foot, rock back. Chest stays lifted. And then we're going to shift all of our body weight forward and take our back foot, step it in. Great job. We're going to just reach for our toes here and then bend our knees into a crouching position. Feel that stretch in the front of the lower legs. And then lift back again. And one more time. A lot of hamstring work today. And hips are up. Good. Walk your hands to your thighs and flatten out through your back here. Good. Soften your knees. Let your hands hang by your side. And we're going to swoop them up and around as we come up to standing position. And let's go right back down again. So flat back. Hands reach by your side. Sweep them up. Pressing your palms out and around. Good. And now just one arm at a time. So just like you're doing a backstroke with one side without rotating right now, we're just working that shoulder joint. And then I want you to hold the arm behind the back, hold onto it and tilt your head in the direction that you're pulling your arm. And then we will switch to the other side. So reach your arm up, circle it back and around. And one more time, and the arm is going to stay back behind. Hold on to the forearm or fingers and tilt your head. Keep your knees soft while you do this. And release. Tuck your chin down towards your chest. Look down at your belly button. And then clasp your hands together and lift them up. And take a small arch through the back. And then release. Let's go ahead and balance on one leg. Take this into a quad stretch. We're going to reach that arm up nice and tall and bring your fingers behind the ear and lean your head back a little bit. Feel the opening through the front of the body. And release. Switch to the other side. And good. Find the balance first. Arm up. When you're ready, bring your finger behind your ear. And again, lift your chest. Lift your chin. And release. Good work. Take your ear to one side and just allow the chin to roll through the middle. Oh, that feels so good. All right, bring your head back up to the top and roll your shoulders up back and around. And we are done with the work tonight. I don't know about you, it felt like that went really fast. Hopefully it did for you too. But we worked harder than we thought we did. How you guys doing? Is that just what you needed, or a little slower night? Jess and Zoe? Still hard.
Manageable. Thank God I didn't have bands. I couldn't have done that with bands.
Oh, it was challenging, but it was slow, so it was manageable, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Good. Awesome. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I'm like I said, I'm doing a lot of training right now. Just what's it called? Not re-education, continuing education. Sometimes it feels like re-education. So I'm trying to throw some things in that I'm learning for you. So anyways, but